Alright, so this is hockeystats. It's an Shiny application that talks to the NHL API R package to pull live data that we visualize here for player stats, team stats, live games, and this application also just serves as a gallery of blog posts pertaining to hockey analysis. So first, taking a look at player stats, we're looking at here our live totals in a 1v1 player comparison. Player A by default is Connor McDavid, shown in red, and player B is Austin Matthews, shown in blue. And as we can see, Connor McDavid is outperforming Austin Matthews in just about every single category shown here, except for block shots. And so maybe you're interested in somebody else. Looking for Leon Draisaitl here. He's a teammate of Connor McDavid and is also having a great season. And so as we can see, these numbers are a lot closer for just about all these metrics, with Draisaitl outperforming McDavid in power play goals and shot percentage, but just by a small margin. At the bottom is another representation of the same data, so looking at the different metrics here on the y-axis and then a value here on the x. And what I like about this is you can look at season totals, but also these metrics per game and per 60 minutes. So as an example, shots on goal, Connor McDavid has had about 250 shots so far this season, but maybe you want to know how many shots has he had per game. And so we can see he has about 4.5. Then you can also look per 60 minutes of ice time. And so the reason for doing this is just because not every player plays the same number of games. They don't always have the same amount of ice time. And so it just can allow for another comparison and perhaps putting things into perspective, seeing how players stack up against each other in this more normalized fashion. So we can also take a look at the league leaders here, just looking at the top 15. By default, looking at points. Maybe you want to see goals. So we just select that from the drop-down menu. And we can see that Connor McDavid again tops this list with over 40 goals, followed by David Pastrnak, Tage Thompson, and so on. The bottom just provides a very quick snapshot of goals, assists, and power play points, and just shows the top 5 skaters for each of these metrics. Moving on to team stats, this is showing the live totals for the current 2022 to 2023 season. Each point here corresponds to one of the 32 NHL teams, and the color corresponds to the division rank, where a white corresponds to 1, which is being the top of your division, and 8 is dark. This corresponds to being last in your division. The x-axis here is goals scored and the y is goals against, and these can be selected from this drop down here. And so we can see if we hover over some of these points, there's some additional information. For example, this one corresponds to the Boston Bruins. They're in first place in their division. They scored 210 goals and have only allowed 118. On the other extreme, you have the Anaheim Ducks. They're 8th place in their division, so that's last place. They scored 145 goals and allowed 246. And so as I mentioned, you can change these axes. For example, maybe you want to see points. And then again, just still hover to see the additional information. At the bottom, this is just a table view providing an overview for division rank, league rank, games played, points, and regulation wins for each of the 32 teams. And I like this just because it provides a very quick snapshot of some of these categories that are interesting to me for my team, and it allows me to see how they stack up against the rest of the league. And so this is organized by division rank and by league rank. And so here is the live games page, and I think this is the coolest feature so far on this site. And so this provides an overview of all the games that happened tonight. So today was the 21st of February 2023. And so the Lightning played the Ducks, the Capitals played the Red Wings, and so on. So this is the home teams, the away teams, the number of home goals, the number of away goals, and then the start time of the game in CST. And so if we take a look here at the bottom, this shows a heat map for each of the different skaters for the different teams. So the Lightning here, and then the Ducks on the bottom. And so this corresponds to that top row here. And so we see are the points, goals, assists, shots, hits, blocked shots, and plus minus rating for each of the skaters. And so maybe you were interested in the Sabres versus Maple Leafs. What we see here is that Alex Tuck for the Sabres, he had 2 points tonight, 1 goal, 1 assist. And some interesting findings for the Leafs. So Mitch Marner, he had 5 points tonight, which is really quite high. 0 goals, 5 assists, 0 shots, and he had a plus-minus of 4. Ryan O'Reilly, he is also interesting because he was just acquired in a trade this week. He had 4 points, 3 goals, so that makes a hat trick, 1 assist, 5 shots, and a plus-minus of 3. And so this would suggest that maybe this trade is looking good so far. And so hopefully the Leafs will make it into the second round of the playoffs this time around. And so finally, here is the blog page. It's just a gallery of, right now, 8 blog posts from a Medium publication called hockeystats. And so if you click on each of these, they're all links, and they'll direct you to that publication on Medium. And so this covers anything from clustering analyses to trends over time, a random forest analysis, and even some interesting scraping tutorials on NHL.com data. And so that about wraps up the features built into the site right now. In terms of future developments, I want to work on integrating some goalie data as well, as opposed to just forwards and defensemen. And I also want to make the site more mobile friendly. And so again, thank you for your time, and I would love to have any feedback, questions, concerns, and I look forward to connecting with some of you. Thank you again for your time.